favorite rapper is involved in the streets
OT.
not because he wants to, but because he was born into it. It's the only life he ever knew. He didn't have much of a choice. So it's not every day you find a rapper who was actually born into a good, stable family.
Oh, it's every day now. Now 2026 is every day. Most of these niggas be born, a lot of these niggas be born into a great, nice family, big house. How you gangbanging and you got a 5-bedroom, your mama got a 5-bedroom house in the suburbs, upstairs, downstairs, in a backyard. What are you gangbanging for? Why are you in the streets? Why are you making drill music? It's like niggas just want to.
Stayed in the school, didn't have to be in the streets at all, and could have lived a life where he didn't have to ever worry about being smoked by his ops.
Right.
But he still chose that street life.
A 24-year-old man is dead.
I blame y'all for making this shit look cool, boy. Y'all be making this look real cool and nice and raw. Y'all make the videos. You have 55 niggas behind you throwing up signs and shit, and y'all be having guns on you with the light flashing and the lasers, and y'all make the song with the cool beats. And y'all make this shit sound so cool. Yeah, I was in jail. I was on Division 9, nigga. I held it down. Ain't nobody played with me. You know I was running that motherfucker. I was doing that. Y'all make it sound cool as hell. And not these little boys out here dying for no reason, trying to be cool like y'all dork ass. It's weird.
A shooting outside of a Burlington mall. Halton police say it happened here in the parking lot of the Burlington Center Mall around 10 o'clock.
Lil OT is a Canadian rapper from the Greater Toronto area. Despite becoming a drill rapper and moving crazy in the streets, Lil OT was actually not born in Canada or anywhere near North America. OT was actually born on a whole other planet. He was born into war-torn Afghanistan. His real name is Omer Niaz Muhammad. During this period, his parents were looking for a way to escape, and fortunately for them, they were able to find one. OT's family was sponsored to Canada when he was only 3 years old by a church. This changed OT's life and put him on a different path. Lil OT's family settled in the city of Hamilton, and it was in this port city that OT spent the rest of life. Unlike most drill rappers, OT lived a life that you wouldn't consider normal for a drill rapper. Rather than jumping off the porch, catching any offenses, getting into any fights at school, or joining a gang, Lil OT had none of that. Not only was he sent to school, he actually graduated high school. OT attended and graduated Jamesville High School. According to reports, he didn't just mark attendance. This dude was a straight A's student who was winning awards. Lil OT even won a Nobel Prize medal. He was so smart that he could have chosen any career, and he would have been successful with it.
Programs and something, I know.
They should be doing that. They never even did that when I was a youth. When I was a youth in my hood, they had like a few programs. They should have had more.
Yeah, I know those ones.
They could have saved me. I was actually I was a smart kid. I could have went 10 different routes. Like,
100%.
Those programs could have saved me. I didn't have to do it, like, no.
100%.
But like in life, you get pushed in different routes.
Up, yeah, it's life.
Yeah.
Life be lifing.
OT was so educated that he didn't fit the image for a drill rapper, that he was being mocked online for having an education.
So when I came to Canada, I moved straight to the North End. I was in Jamesville since kindergarten to high school. And then after high school, we moved out. That was really it. So what other questions was there?
The school stuff. I seen on Reddit, they posted like, yo, the man's a good youth, he went to school. And I'm like, what? How stupid is that,
Who didn't go to school though? Like,
yeah.
That's the funniest thing. Like, I went to
They get
school,
at me for that.
Why do you think they got to get at you for that, bro?
I don't know, like all the man went to school and then I stayed in school and I did well in school and I just started, like I asked a lot of questions in the class whenever I was stuck. The teacher would help me out. Like I was not embarrassed.
That means you wasn't stupid. That's what that means, bro. That's why they looking at you like you crazy, because street niggas are usually stupid. They usually don't do good in school. They usually drop out. You feel what I'm saying? Like they usually drop out of school in fucking 8th grade, 9th grade. Most street niggas dropped out of school, bro. Most street niggas did not go to school and finish school. Most street niggas did not have a mom and a dad at the crib. Most street niggas barely had a crib to go to. That's why they was in the streets doing this shit. So they're trying to say, and you trying to make it seem like it's a bad thing, but niggas is trying to tell you like, bro, you was a good kid. You was smart in school. You being smart means that you have enough common sense to put 1 + 1 together and understand that going outside and gangbanging and dying and going to jail for it is stupid. That means your IQ is higher than most people. You know this shit is stupid, but you still doing it. Niggas don't respect that. That's dumb. Hey, before I keep going, I gotta show y'all something real quick. Y'all know I love shining like new money for all the days I was broke. And GLD helps me do just that. Now, like, I actually wear this, like, all the time. And I'm one of them dudes that's picky with my jewelry. If it feels light, cheap, or weird on my neck, I'm not wearing it. But this, you can feel it immediately. The weight is right, the details are clean, and the clamps don't feel super flimsy. It's just all around solid. I mean, you throw this on and people start thinking you got your life figured out a lot more than you actually do. Compliments just start coming out of nowhere. Where you get your chain from, bro? GLD, boy! It's waterproof and sweatproof. Like, everything they make is guaranteed for life. So you ain't really got to stress about nothing falling apart like all that cheap ass jewelry that some people be selling. I ain't gonna say no names. Now what I really like about GLD is they got options. You want something simple? Cool. You want something that stands out? Cool. They got chains, they got earrings, pendants, watches, whatever you need, they got it. And it's not one of them brands where you gotta spend crazy prices to actually get something nice and high quality. I ain't the only one rocking with them either, man. Millions of people rock with GLD all across the world. They got thousands of 5-star reviews. And let's just say it's a reason why you keep seeing GLD everywhere. So if you've been thinking like, man, I need one good chain to just put my outfit together, you might be going date night, Valentine's Day coming up, I don't know. This is probably your sign to go get you some nice jewelry. So I'm gonna hook y'all up. Right now, new customers get 50% off if you use the code MACMULA. Half off, bro. 50% off your order if you use the code MACMULA. Half off, bro. Go to GLD.com, use the code MACMULA when you placing your order and save 50%. All right, let's get back to the video.
Just wanted to get better at school and then get better. Like, I was competitive in school as well.
Some might argue that
talking.
OT was too educated for the streets, or that he was smart enough to avoid it. Unfortunately, none of that is true. OT stated that he's always wanted to be a rapper, but he didn't start taking rap seriously until he was 18.
I was always like in the hood freestyling as a kid. Like, you would always just try to rap, but I wouldn't really focus, like, say like I'm going to the studio and really spending money on this till like I was 18.
Now, being a rapper doesn't make you a street guy. We are not blaming hip-hop for that. OT
But that's what these niggas think, though. They think in order to be a rapper, I gotta be a street dude. I gotta have a gun. I gotta sag my pants a little bit. You see what I'm saying? I gotta do something with my hands like this so I can, you feel me? I gotta rep some type of hood, otherwise they gonna call me a bitch. They don't see no other way. You know what I'm saying? They don't see no other way to be a rapper. Cause everybody else around them is going, oh, you a bitch ass nigga, you singing, you doing that R&B bitch ass, man. I ain't trying to hear that, man. I'm trying to hear some gang music, man. You feel me? So niggas like him, it's like, okay, I want to be a rapper. Shit, I gotta do the street shit too. Otherwise, they ain't gonna take me serious, and that's cap, bro.
By that street life, the idea of being the top dog who was sliding the streets, taking out his ops, and letting everyone know he ain't one to play with. That's what he rapped about in his songs. Rather than being the smart student and brilliant guy who goes from high school to college, we got videos of OT fighting his ops and pulling a knife on them. OT was doing this because he needed to hustle in the streets to survive, nothing like that. He just loved that life and rapped about it in his songs. And OT was actually quite talented, and his numbers proved that. After he dropped his first single, you had the labels circling around sending contracts wanting him to sign that deal. And if y'all listened to OT in his interviews, you'd know he was smart with how he handled his business. In his interview with We Love Hip Hop Network, OT revealed that he decided not to sign with anyone. Instead, the kid was smart enough to use the blogs to get people to know his name, then start his own label and run things independently.
So when did you get on the radar of BFR? Because at one point in time, they wanted to sign you.
Yo, I was dropping tracks. And then I knew the dot, like I knew in Toronto, the blog pages where that's where the fans are engaged with. So I hit them up like, yo, how much does it cost for a shout out? Yeah. And then they're like $250. I was like, all right, say no more. And I wrote their name down, this blog page, this blog page, this blog page. And then every time I would drop, I would hit those blog pages. I would say, yo, here's $250, post my stuff and say upcoming Hamilton artist, da da da. And then I guess these guys seen it. Yeah. And they're like, yo, you're hot, da da da. They were trying to sign me right away. I was like, yo, like chill. I'm trying to learn the game. I'm trying to figure it out myself. I want to get to your guys' position. I know I'll never get to your position if I sign under you. So I was just peeping game. I was even
So you
dissing.
was
I was
smart.
just saying like, yo, you know, I'm
Too
doing my
smart to
own
get
thing.
killed at 24, bro.
Lil OT started his own company, Dirty North Incorporated. But while OT was making these smart moves, he just couldn't make that right decision to stay out of the streets. Instead, OT was getting more and more involved in that life and got caught in a lot of shootouts. OT described these shootouts as the thing that scared him daily. When he was asked about the scariest day of his life, he described the trauma of constantly living with the fear that one day someone was gonna get him.
Scariest day of my life? I don't know, like close death experiences, near death experiences, shootouts, getting shot at. I never really been into like a crazy car accident, but a lot of shootouts though.
Unlike other rappers who get involved in the streets,
I don't
Lil
understand
OT
that
was
shit,
self-aware
bro.
enough to know that the life
I've seen you playing with all this money in your hand, bro. Move. And this story, the first video was telling, but the second video is even worse because he speaks he's very well spoken. He's very articulate. He understands. His IQ is above average, bro. I can tell by how he analyzes situations. I can tell by, the way he talks, the way it seemed like he thinks before he says something. Those little things, bro, like you was too smart to even be in the streets, let alone to be getting killed in the streets, bro. So now we got this smart ass kid from fucking Toronto that could have been a doctor, a lawyer, could have been a rapper, could just be enjoying his life, could have 3-4 kids, fucking millionaire. He could be doing whatever. He could be putting on for the whole country of Canada, bro. And this little boy is dead because he wanted to keep being in the streets when he didn't have to. The streets is for crash out, slow brain, junkie, perk snorting, fucking high school dropouts, bro. It's not for the smart kids. It's not for the kids that got some fucking sense. It's not. You got this big ass diamond chain on. I'm seeing you walk around with all this cash in your hand. Stop buying the fucking designer and move out of your city, bro. That's all you had to do. All you had to do. You could have moved to New York for a year and all the beef would have died down. You could have been chilling. Like nobody would have did nothing to you. You know?
Unlike other rappers who get involved in the streets, Lil OT was self-aware enough to know that the life of violence in the streets wasn't fun and not worth it all. He was even advising the young ones to stay out of that life.
Like I just lost one of my younger bros like 2 months ago. It hit me different now, but I'm a little stronger than I was before. So, but yeah, you take L's out here, bro. And I want to add too, like for a lot of these young boys joining the streets, thinking the streets is like it's fun out here. It's not fun out here. I don't know what they think. Like the net makes it look so cool, bro. You lose your home, that would change your brain. Like I'm different. Like I don't even laugh the same. I can't even. A lot is different now. Like you're not the same person after that, right?
See what I'm saying? You don't hear Bloodhound Q50 saying no shit like that. You don't hear Real Vert saying no shit like that, bro. You don't see Fully Chopped saying no shit like that. All these crash out ass niggas. You don't see that nigga saying no shit like that. He's saying what the fuck I say every video. So it's like, bro, you had enough sense to be like, man, shit, this shit ain't right. Boy, let me get my ass on somewhere. And you didn't do it. That's the saddest part about it, bro.
But while OT was advising to not chase that street life,
he was still
just
doing
wish
it.
He took his own advice. Back in 2023, OT was at home with several members of his family when the ops pulled up on him. Around 6:30 p.m. on the 14th of November 2023, OT was at home with 6 other members of his family when a stolen black Honda Civic turned onto Wickham Avenue and drove past house number 5, OT's home. As the sedan drove past his home, the ops started shooting. Bullets were zipping around everywhere. It smashed through the windows, walls, and hit 2 cars parked outside the house. The other bullets were lodged in different rooms around the home. Fortunately, no one caught a bullet, no one got hurt, but everyone knew this was like a miracle. The cops found at least 52 bullet holes, along with 45 shell casings, 35 from a .40 caliber, and 10 from 9mm. Around 11:30 p.m. on the night of that same day, the Honda Civic was found shot up in another part of the city. The streets don't come at you that hard if you've not done something. This shooting was proof that OT wasn't just a troll. He got himself involved in some crazy ish. His home was shot up 52 times. That was an overkill. You must have done something for them to want you that bad and just keep that finger on the trigger. Also, they didn't pull up on him anywhere. They found and came
Where
to
he
his
lived,
home.
yeah.
If they found his house, that means he was betrayed by someone from his crew. This was confirmed more than 2 years later. the cops announced that the shooter was a man called Ali Isak Hussein. The shooter was caught through a wiretap when the feds heard him snitching on himself. Word in the streets is that Hussein used to be Lil OT's homie. He was betrayed by one of his own. The shooting was like a warning to OT that street life comes with some serious consequences with no do-overs. But this wasn't the first time he was shot at. The ops had also come for him back in September 2020. And even after having his family members scrambling to take cover, ducking for their lives, this changed nothing. After some time, OT had another run-in with the law. This time, the cops were observing a gray Hyundai in the area of Barton Street East and East Avenue North. Police stated that a strong odor of fresh weed was coming from the car. Lil OT was in this car.
When Look at all this money. That's a year. That's a year of an apartment in a nice, better side of the country. Even if you don't leave Canada, you go to a different part of the country, bro. What the fuck are you still doing in the hood every day? I don't understand that. You could sell you that fucking belt, them jeans, and that scarf. If you would have not bought that, you could have. I don't understand. You could have just went and bought an apartment somewhere on the whole other side of Canada. You, your 2-3 closest friends that you know, you love and trust, and never do nothing to backdoor you or nothing. Move over there, live a nice life. I don't know why niggas choose, because, bro, it's really not that hard. That's like, I got 2 pills in front of me. I got a red pill and a blue pill. One pill is you gonna get killed and go to jail. The other pill is you gonna move out of the hood and live a nice life. I don't have to think about that. Nigga, give me that shit. I don't have to think about that.
Search, they found 116 grams of white powder, 17 grams of fentanyl, oxycodone, $9,500 in cash, then a firearm and ammunition, then was arrested again a couple of other times. This was the period where he got the nickname Wild Child. A dude was sliding in the streets not because he needed the money to survive. It seemed OT just couldn't resist the allure of the game. He couldn't stay out of trouble.
How did going to jail in 2020, 2022, and 2023 impact your career? Because 2020, obviously, that's when
and you was already in jail.
So going to jail during that time must have been a different experience for you compared to other people that went to jail during other times. But you also went 3 times.
Yeah. What was the question? How did it affect me?
Yeah, how did it impact your career?
Impact my career. It impacted my career a lot because the first time I really, like, my longest bid was like a year and a half, and I started that bid at the height of my career. So I was like, I just dropped my biggest song, and then like 3 days later I got raided, and like, you know, and then I had to do a year and a half. I didn't get bail, it slowed me down. Even one of my homies, I was talking to him one time, he told me, he's like, yo, you missed your flight. I'm like, what do you mean by that? He's like, yo, you should have caught your flight back then. You should have been on that flight by now, but, you know, gotta keep going.
Lil OT was now so involved in that street life that he even had people calling him a snitch. As OT's music was popping in the charts, one of the people that wanted to sign him was someone who had been seen with Drake, Top 5. Top 5 wanted to sign OT, but since it didn't work out, you had Top 5 wiling out calling Lil OT a rat because he beat 3 gun cases in a year.
I think he's a rat. And ask me why. He beat 3 gun cases in a year. 3 separate ones. Man will beat 1 gun case, and yo, I might.
You're still on the boat?
No, it updated. I don't want, listen, I'm not calling him a rat, but 3 gun cases, oppressor. Man can't beat 3 gun cases in 1 year.
Yo, fam, can I sleep, cuz? Holy dog.
Y'all talk funny as fuck out there.
Let's go to sleep, fam. Word.
Lil OT responded by stating that not only did all these cases happen in different years, he made sure everyone can see through Top 5's beat.
Let me see what he said.
Sleep, fam. Word.
Lil OT
God gives us toughest battles to strong shows, alhamdulillah. I don't need to cap about my life. It's a movie no matter what I do.
By stating that not only did all these cases happen.
Let me make this clear. I didn't beat 3 cases in 1 year. 2020, I caught that first case. My fans know I did a year and a half and beat that case. 2022, I caught another case, did 1 year house arrest, beat it in 2023. In 2023, I caught next week case, came home 24. So, only thing I'm confused about, how did you beat the case if you got house arrest? I mean, you didn't beat the case, nigga. You went to jail. You got beat the case, mean you went home, ain't nothing happened.
In different years, he made sure everyone can see through Top 5's BS by making it clear he was only saying because OT refused to sign with him. Unfortunately for Lil OT, getting caught up in all these issues, and most especially in that street business, was only going to end one way, and that happened on the 9th of February 2026. On the night of this day, around 10:10 p.m., the cops were called to a parking lot in Burlington Center where OT was bleeding out in a car. He was rushed to a hospital, but unfortunately, he was later pronounced dead. The cops stated that he was shot in his upper body.
A 24-year-old man is dead following
24.
a shooting outside of a Burlington mall. Halton police say it happened here in the parking lot of the Burlington
Crazy part about being 24, I'm 27, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'll be 28 this year. So, let's just say 4 years ago, I was 24. When I was 24, I was already a millionaire. Because I stopped doing this. I'm not trying to brag. I'm trying to teach y'all. I stopped doing this bullshit. But also, I had never been to jail. So, not for real. I mean, I was in jail. As long as I've been in jail, like 16 hours or some shit. So, like, you 24, but you did a year on house arrest. So, that's a year off your life. You did a year and a half in jail. So, that's 2.5 years off your life. So, yeah, you 24, but damn near 3 years of your life was spent in jail. And then at 24, you get killed. Y'all see this dumb... This is a stupid ass cycle, bro. This is stupid. So at 24, imagine being 24, you young as hell, whatever the case was. Damn near 3 years of your life was spent in a jail cell, eating bullshit food around a bunch of dirty, stank ass niggas in jail, in a cage, like a fucking zoo animal, right? Damn near 3 years. So if you take 3 years off of your 24 years, you only been out and free in a free world. You really only been living for 21 years. And you got killed. Gang. This ain't no, bro, ain't shit cool about this shit, bro. And that's why it's about choices, bro. It's about choices. If you can be as deep as you want to be in the streets right now, and today you can say, I'm done with this shit. I'm not finna get killed. I'm not finna keep going to jail. I'm not finna keep getting shot at. I'm not finna keep losing my friends. I'm not finna keep being running around here scared for my fucking life. And I'm not finna do that. I'm finna do this. And I swear to God, bro, if you just simply go get a job, I don't want you to do nothing. If you really want to change your life, if you in that situation I just said, and you want to change your life, bro, you can go get a job at anywhere. Go get an Amazon warehouse job. Get your ass in that car, wake up early in the morning, work out, whatever you want to do. Get in that car, go to work, come home. Don't do nothing else. If it ain't got nothing to do with going to get no groceries, going to get your kids or something like that, don't do nothing else. Do that shit for 2 to 3 months straight, 90 days. I don't want you to do shit else. Maybe you play the game a little bit, whatever. If you ain't at home, you at work. If you ain't at work, you at home. If you ain't at work or home, nigga, you with your kids or something. You see what I'm saying? Stay low key. Don't kick it with them niggas that be in the streets like that. Because they gonna have your ass doing some dumb shit that's gonna get you killed. Or you gonna be in jail, getting pulled over because this nigga got a switch on them. You see what I'm saying? So you leave them niggas alone. You go to work, you come home. You do that for 90 days. You save every dollar humanly possible. You don't buy no new clothes, no new shoes. You barely even get your fucking haircut. You save that money. And at the very least, bro, you move to a small apartment at least an hour outside of your city. So if you from Detroit, you move to an hour outside. If you from Chicago, you move to Aurora or Naperville or, you know what I'm saying, somewhere like that. Get you a nice little small little cheap 1-bedroom studio apartment. And now that you set up, now that you over here, now that you out the way, nigga, you get a job out here and you keep stacking your bread, and get you a business, invest your money. You know what I'm saying? Chase whatever you're going to chase. But now you can do what you want to do freely because you an hour away. You ain't in the hood no more. So now if you want to go to the mall, you can go to the mall. Now if you want to go get you a little girl, go on a date, have a little 3 hoes, whatever you want to do, you can do that. Because you ain't in the hood no more. So you ain't really like, you ain't like this all, motherfucker ain't looking for you an hour, 2 hours away in the suburbs. Or some of y'all, you can even leave your whole state, bro. You know what I'm saying? You could be from Chicago and you can move to fucking Kentucky. Ain't nobody fucking with you out here. You know what I'm saying? It might not be a whole lot to do, but at least you can move around. You can go to a restaurant. You can find you a little girl at work, take her to Chili's and Applebee's or something. You know what I'm saying? You could chill. Get you a friend or two that's with you. Y'all go out there, y'all can smoke weed and get high and go fucking Dave and Buster's and do whatever you want to do. Chill now, because you ain't got to worry about nobody trying to kill you no more, because you ain't in your home city. You ain't in the hood no more. And if you is in the hood, you ain't in your hood no more. You straight. You see what I'm saying? So now you keep stacking that bread up. After a few years go by, you in a whole nother section of life. You got your business turned up, your YouTube channel, your music, whatever it is. And now you can make your bread, and you can keep hustling. And now, once you stack your bread enough, if you want to move to Miami, if you want to move to LA, if you want to move to New York, if you want to move to Houston, you can do that. And you can go move to a nice ass penthouse apartment now, because you can afford it, because you've been stacking this whole time. Don't do this, bro. Don't do this. Be spending all your money because you just trapped in a big ass cycle in the hood. Because you spending all your money on Gucci, all your money on this, all your money on that. You keep doing street shit every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. It only takes 60 to 90 days to change your whole life, bro. And you can do that shit with a Walmart job. Just don't make it too hard on you. Don't make it too hard, bro. It's
around
okay.
10 o'clock.
However, an eyewitness called Ross Hamilton later confirmed that he was in a restaurant when he heard 3 gunshots. When he went outside, he saw a man in dark clothing walking away from a white sedan, the car Lil OT was in. After this, there was already a white SUV waiting to pick up the shooter, got into the car, and they sped off. The eyewitness found OT slouched over in his seat, bleeding from a gunshot wound to his neck. OT was still semi-conscious at this point. The eyewitness then tried to put pressure, but the victim had already lost a lot of blood.
I was at Wings Up CM Dish, just behind that 7-Eleven right there. I heard 3 shots. At the point I heard 3 shots, I heard some commotion. I couldn't tell what was said. Within a few minutes, a few seconds later, I saw one individual who I believe who did the shooting go into a black SUV. I saw a black SUV and a white SUV.
But fam, this ain't even the most interesting point. A dash cam footage from this scene confirmed that the shooter was allegedly in the same white sedan as Lil OT. This is why he allegedly shot OT from point blank range, then ran to the white SUV that was already waiting for him. Then the SUV and another black car then fled the scene. This proves
they was driving together.
The T from point.
The 2 SUVs was driving together, so it was a setup. It was a backdoor setup. He said, "Hey, look, I'm finna take his ass down." They either tried to rob him or kill him, or it was a drug deal going bad. One of the 3. You know what I'm saying? They set the back door up. They shot him, killed him, ran to the other car, and they got out of there and left him there to die.
Point blank range, then ran to the white SUV that was already waiting for him. Then the SUV and another black car then fled the scene. This proves that the shooter was allegedly OT's friend, someone he trusted. That's why they were in the same car and he was backdoored. The car was already waiting for the shooter, which means it was planned. So Lil OT was allegedly set up. He was got by someone who was acting as a friend. The white SUV that carried away the shooter was also found in another part of the city. It was already set on fire, a classic cover-up move for a murder. These shooters knew what they were doing. Lil OT's story is proof of why it's important to avoid that street life and the unnecessary violence with senseless killings that come with it. OT's story is even more bizarre because he chose the street. He was from a good, stable family. He could have avoided all of these and lived the good life. But if you get in the streets, it's only gonna end 2 ways, either behind bars or in the ground. Only a few make it out of that jungle. Rest in peace, Lil OT. If you enjoy.
And I don't know why niggas keep doing. I don't know why niggas continue to. You know what I'm saying? And look, he got the oven with the baking soda, with the pot in there, with the water, with the pot, with the Pyrex, and they make this shit look so cool. Ain't nothing cool about that. This shit stank. I'm telling, ain't nothing cool about this shit, man. Ain't it, man?